Yesterday, I talked about why I stopped prescribing weight loss drugs. 2024, put the prescription pad down in favor of 100% lifestyle approach. That's simple fasting, and here we are. Part of that session yesterday, as I was putting that all together, is thinking, do I still feel like that's the right thing with all the societal phenomenon that is happening with weight loss medications, And I say, yeah, I kind of came to the space again. This is feeling good, but does it feel like something is missing? I don't think the prescriptions are missing, but today I'm going to explore with you, is community missing? Is it the missing prescription in healthcare? This is what was sinking in to me yesterday as I was reflecting on the session. Happy Tuesday. So nice to have y'all here with me. Beautiful sunshine and mild temps. Yeah, I ran into a couple people walking the dog yesterday. Everybody talking like, oh, doesn't this feel so good? It does. Gather around, I say we can gather around the lake here. This is Lake Wingra, Madison. I took a walk. This was a couple evenings ago. And I brought my nice camera out to film this sunset, try to get some nice footage for us. And it was a gorgeous sunset, and I messed it all up. Few things, live and learn. It was all overexposed. You couldn't even see those clouds there. It was all blown out. But I had my iPhone. I didn't know it at the time, but I was walking down the trail, and then there's this big heron sitting out on that log. And so I just grabbed the phone and watched this heron for a little bit. We got 8 minutes. It was me versus heron. I wanted to stand there until it took off to catch a fish or something. But the heron won. It outlasted my patience because I wanted to get back to my camera. I hate leaving my camera by itself. So heron won, and but we can you can still get the gist of the sunset and the bird here. Beautiful times to be out. Absolutely. Yeah, here we are. This is going to launch us into our community thinking. Doctors seeing so many patients, but not the actual person so often. And I will tell you that toward the end of my experience, I might have participated in that when I was so burned out. I mean, the number of patients that I had at the university at the maximum of my panel is just, is extraordinary. They even have different ways of counting it because they have like weighted persons. Some people count more than others, Some young healthy person might be 1/10 of a person, and some older person might be like 5 people, that sort of thing. And then so it's kind of hard to figure out how many patients do I even have, but it's in the vicinity of 2,500, which to me is not, it's like a small town. It's not, it's like, whoa, for one person. And that's when I really started to think that I had to stop, because I'm like, am I doing this? I'm just like, I can barely keep my head above water right now. Needed some space to think. That's where I loved that reflection yesterday. Just take some space to just get out of the rush and the flow, really, and take some perspective of what's going on. And so fasting space for me has been a space to do that doing these sessions, do some deep thinking and reflection. So I've personally loved it. Oh man, I've shared for anyone new coming in. I shared in that I got this Lyme disease diagnosis. It's been a rough stretch personally, and I've reached out to lots of different people who've given me so many thoughtful perspectives on it. But then the number of people who have had this exact experience. And even with Lyme disease, I've talked to 4 or 5 different people where it's like, people would not listen to me. I couldn't get diagnosed. It took so long. It's like many people have had that experience. And so I'm feeling very fortunate. It was like day 9 or 10 that I was able to get in some antibiotics and, So, we did the session the other day, get out of the rush, whatever we call that. Rushing through life, rushing through meals. The healthcare system has become such a rush. I know I found it very difficult. When I am working with patients now, I give everybody at least an hour, and that's what's been so incredible about my tiny clinic. Even I say, well, I wish the volume was a little higher. I have a lot of capacity, but on the other side, it's like I have total open space with people to really slow down and really get in this stuff. And that is my favorite thing, in medicine, to really see somebody, really feel like, man, we really accomplished something, And very much finding gratitude for that. So thinking about this moment, right? Thinking about where we are, the situation. I am here in this space. I am trying to help everybody lose weight that they want. Trying to create a space, in the ideal space, where it's like people can gather around, I did the session, what was it, a couple weeks ago? Gather around the fire, I was just thinking historically people would gather around the fire. We would have these community settings, even every day, here was a source of light before electricity and a source of heat before all of our modern convenience. And people gather around, and before TVs, and people just tell stories, and people connect, and share struggles. And it's like there's an element that we don't have, too much. I think maybe we got a fireplace in the family. Hopefully in families we are connecting, in friends of groups, but not necessarily in a broader community setting. We have community events. People have different religious or spiritual connections. People go to sporting events and concerts. But it is not the type of thing like this. Now we are in this type of environment, and especially when we think of health, we think we want to do a certain thing, and we say insurance doesn't agree, and we have taken healthcare, or healthcare has evolved into, maybe nobody consciously did it, maybe it is just a manifestation of our Western culture and our individualism, and this sort of concept that healthcare has become a commodity. It's become something that you purchase, and it's become such an individual thing. Whereas, very much, we need privacy, right? Lots of things in healthcare, we need privacy. But where is the role of community? Community been 100% really stripped out of it. And everything, and then the reason for it, more than anything, is because everything just has to be coded and billed to insurance companies. And it is such a thing. So we can go to receive our healthcare in our own little room, one at a time, like a factory just turning out healthcare. And it is not the type of thing. And so this is the space that I want to explore, Is there a better space to bring some community back into it, And to me, the space to do it is in this metabolic space, Because, we are here in a moment where societally, look at the session yesterday, societally, we are trying to medicate our way out of a cultural problem, as far as I can see. And bless anybody who benefits from that, right? But what I tried to show in that session, we aren't necessarily getting down to a deep and a core fundamental space where medicines wouldn't be necessary. In the past, medicines were not necessary. And if we have medicines now and they help, of course, that's fine. But like, wouldn't an ideal future health system state, an ideal state of health, be that we would not need multi-billion-dollar industrial pharmaceutical processes to attain some measure of metabolic health? That I think people could agree. Hopefully even people who are working for pharmaceutical companies could agree, and insurance companies, that that would be an ideal state, and maybe we can at least set that as a vision. And so, my feeling, how do you feel about it, is that people are generally wired to thrive in communities, for better or worse. People, relatively tribal sort of creatures, and we form bands and groups, and people come together in groups and accomplish, incredible things. I think that's where the human spirit can really thrive, coming together, supporting each other in a broader fashion. At least it sounds good to me as I think about it, and then I wonder if there are ways to harness these concepts and bring them in, because think about things, as I think about things that people routinely struggle with, on a health journey. It is finding motivation and staying on track and finding encouragement in times of difficulty. And these are the types of things that groups and friendships, connections, these sort of things can really help us move through a season. And we don't really have that, in these individualized sort of health paths. And so part of this reflection, like I said at the end of the session yesterday, what are the best ideas? I'm trying to think, I really like my clinic. A lot of this is thinking about, clinic, it's this program, and then it's the clinic. And then how do we try to bring some of these ideas in, if we can do it? And maybe people will not want it. So I'm, curious to get some feedback of what people think. Does it just sound good in my own head, or will people actually like to do it? Oh, here was a sentence. I took a note. I said, current healthcare system, I made up this word, I think lonelifying. It's lonelifying. A lonelifying process, make people feel isolated. I would like people to feel connected. The ideal health experience, in my view, would be one that helps people to feel connected and part of something bigger. And that is the type of thing that can be very encouraging. I think this is why I loved the clinical study so much. I think my favorite thing I did in medicine, running my clinical study that I gave a talk on, that was during COVID. We couldn't really get the study group together very much. But I think, even, especially during a difficult time like that, COVID, what a misery. Everybody came together and participated in something very unique and cool, and people found a lot of benefit from connecting to that. Both the people who ran it and the people who participated in it. It was a very positive experience. And so participating in a group health experience like that, it added a spark to it, And I would like to try to recreate that in some fashion, is the idea. I think it's one of the reasons I love doing this session, here too. That's another thing I was thinking about. Even in its tiny form, a few people gathering around, it's better. I think it's better to have broader discussions. I think that's why I gravitate to the live session, because it's like an opportunity to people have a conversation, bring ideas together. And this is... I'm always enriched by the comments that people have. So we take ideas and then we put our minds together, often a better way to move forward. And so to me, when we think about moving forward, I don't know how you felt about it. I was just really struck by the financials of the quality adjusted life years on these weight loss drugs. $135,000 for one health unit, of a measure, quality of life unit. And I think if there's a way to move forward in a more grounded way, perhaps it is like creating teams. That's what I want. And so I was thinking about trying to launch a team for my clinic, or that sort of concept. I don't exactly know the language that I will use. A big thing we got to do, that I got to do, figure out language and marketing, like words that actually connect with people. So far, the language that I'm using about my clinic and things, it's resonating with a few people. I got a few people coming through, which is beautiful. Would people want to participate in a health team? And is that the right word? And what would it be? I want an experience, ideally, that is more engaging than just one visit, that is bigger and more fun, ideally. More fun would be great in healthcare, and more effective, of course. Like, I always want things. What is the way to deliver health interventions in a way that is the most effective? I was reviewing some literature on group medical experiences that there is actually demonstrated increased efficacy. The study I was looking at was with blood pressure specifically. So right now, in my clinic, I've just been marketing, just visits. I come have a consultation, come back when you want. And this is fine. But it's still this idea that is the same. One visit, one bill, like everything is a barrier. I've been thinking about switching in, like even apart from group things, like just having like a package, something would be an easier way. So people have the barrier once. Who likes to pay for things? Nobody, not me. It's like, I'll probably switch in, package something, but putting it in as a group experience. I wrote one little commercial. I hate writing a commercial, but I thought if I had time yesterday, I was even going to try to record it and play it for you. But I'll give you a live rendition of my writing and see if you have any thoughts about it. Cohorts. Is cohort too... I like the word cohort. It makes sense to me. I don't know if cohort is going to resonate with people on the radio, though. I don't know. Cohort's a medical word. I don't know if do people use it in other places? Do people understand that a cohort is a specific group of people going through a process? I don't know. A 3-month cohort. Come in. Hit a very intensive process for 3 months. I'm thinking about if there's any way that I can... in my still bouncing back state, can I launch a program by September 14th, Monday, September 14th? Because then a 3-month program finishes up in the middle of December before the holidays. And so get people in an intensive 3-month program, 10 people. What if I'm just thinking about even shutting down, basically not taking any new consults, still seeing my people that are coming through, but only taking 10 people for 3 months and then putting them into a team, like group visit, still some individual consulting. Everybody say get 3 individual hour-long consulting sessions, but then group visits every week for 3 months and coming together as a team experience. I think it sounds fun to me to try to run. I don't know if people are going to want to do it or sign up. And then the same logistics will be like, how do you get 10 people together, in this modern moment at a time when everyone likes, do we do it in the evening? Do we do it in the morning? There'll just be a ton of logistics. And then maybe do you have to split 2 times? And what if one person can't make it and 9 can? And then they feel like, so you have to see, what do the logistics look like? But can we harness the power of community? Here is my little commercial. And I just say, as you're thinking, would you be interested in this? Would you be excited to participate in something like it? Do you think other people would like to participate in it? What thoughts or reflections do you have? Let's see, how does this sound? I just typed this out yesterday afternoon, and then I don't even know how long it is. Okay, this was a one take writing, but I'll just do it. Let's see what you think. If you heard a commercial like this, if you are wanting to lose weight and you heard a commercial like this on the radio, or maybe if you saw some text version, maybe I try to write it into a headline or something. Anyway. Rejuvenate your metabolism and drop stubborn weight naturally with our intensive 3-month metabolic restoration protocol. Dr. Z here with a limited time weight loss opportunity. I'm offering you a slot in my fall cohort starting September 14th at my Fitchburg office. I'm devoting my entire fall to a group of only 10 people in order to deliver you the most comprehensive and effective weight loss experience possible. Would you like to work one-on-one with your own weight loss physician? My program combines personalized visits with a group program so that we can make powerful progress together. A complete metabolic overhaul done in time for the holidays. You won't find another program like it. And to keep this quality experience as high as possible, I'm only accepting 10 people. Head to simplefasting.com now to learn more and book a free call with me to see if this opportunity would be right for you. Look forward to talking to you soon. How do you like my cheesy radio voice? Is it good? Oh man. I don't know. That's my thought of the day. Yes, doctors put in a difficult position, I say. Stuck in between student loans and insurance. Yeah, Very tricky. It is very tricky. Yeah, 3-month program. Cohort may be too interesting. Yeah. That is a good thought. Certainly they have success in recruiting people. I wonder if there is a part of that. Anybody who's done Weight Watchers, tell me, was participating in a community aspect of it part of the draw of it, or was it not? Or was it just the plan, Was it the organization, the points, the structure? Or is the community a draw to it? Cohort. I will edit it out even right now so I don't forget. Cohort is good for a research study. Probably not for marketing. This is probably why some of my marketing has had trouble. I need better words. Anyway, I do some more writing on that today. I do some more thinking about it today. Oh, I have... Boy, they're stuck in here. There we go. I ordered... custom simple fasting journals. I don't know if can you see it in this light. There we go. They're embossed or debossed with simple fasting logo, premium leather journal. It's blue dyed leather because I want people to take the journal, use it as the metabolic blueprint if you get it. So everybody gonna come do the program, gonna get a custom simple fasting journal, and then I'm building out a template of... I'll be happy to share the template with you. as I develop it. But the process to really dig in, and both creating a record that we can learn from, different seasons, different implementations of healthy eating and fasting and exercise, and using the tools, building the blueprint personally, because like anybody can just put out a video, and say like, this is the thing. And people say, oh, I watched some fasting videos from some different, big YouTubers yesterday, and this thing like one was saying like 16:8 is dead. That was the title. And then I'm like, oh, really? Really is it, And then the video had nothing really to do with that. And it's like just a title, to get people. Someone say, look, but we got these different ideas. We got the 16:8 and the variations, and we got the OMAD, and then you can push it out. Fasting day, alternate daily fasting. Can flow between these. And the thing that I was thinking the most about yesterday, I found one study I was reading yesterday that it was dialing me back in a space when we were doing the study protocol. We read pretty much every fasting study we could find, and this was, when were we launching it? 2022. And, one of the areas of literature that we were looking at was fasting studies that were 16:8 sort of studies, 2 meals a day, but they were studying same calories, but when is the fasting window, and called early versus late time restricted eating. And quite a number of studies, whatever it was, 5 or whatever that we had, then they were all suggesting that the earlier window was more effective for weight loss. So have breakfast, lunch, more powerful than lunch, dinner. But the thing of it is that when you leave everybody to their own devices, like most people pick lunch, dinner, because it fits better with social patterns of wanting to eat dinner with people. And so there's kind of the space. But then the thought I was thinking yesterday, just that's randomly flowing in, it's like, what if people stuck in a plateau sort of space, and people also not feeling like cranking up into 1 meal a day? I just wanted to bring that thought back. Shifting the window earlier maybe is a way, even for a period of time, just to recognize. Some literature would suggest the early window and really clearing out, because I've explored that space a lot before, that the place where a fasting community and a standard nutrition perspective everybody agrees that late eating does not help people, right? Even people who don't like fasting, even though, as you see, clearing out late eating is the start of fasting. But that's the highest yield. And so if you think about that, clearing out late eating, if we just continue that process around my little circle here, I was like, oh, we keep that going, then we see clearing out the afternoon also. It's like just an extension of that. And it does make sense, hormonally, with cycles of cortisol and other hormones in the body, that could be the highest yield. And so usually where I have people start, I say start at the easiest place. And if it's easiest to start with a late window, just get all the benefit that you can out of that. And oftentimes I have people switch right into 1 meal, from 2 meals to 1. Recognize knocking out the second meal going to be more powerful than the first. And then just realize that the space between that could be shifting the window. Even sometimes, not locked into a rigid thing. What if it worked for a week, and then just kind of reset. I've had people have benefit from that. Agree. Cohort 2 clinical. Yep. Needs more element of fun. This is the whole idea of the thing for me, that we could have more fun, find joy on the journey, right? Have a sort of thing that it's like an event. It doesn't just feel like going to a clinic, going to a medical visit, getting lectured at, which I try not to do, but something that is more fun, Like how many people enjoy, like, if you have a group of friends and like you go out on Saturday for coffee, you know, you say, it's like, maybe you're in a fasting space, but you're like having fun. It's certainly not a medical visit, you know. Might be more effective than a lot of medical visits in many ways. More of a vibe like that. Hated the meetings. Interesting, especially the weigh-ins. Yeah, I wouldn't be doing any weigh-ins in a group visit. That seems like a bad vibe, for sure. Yeah. What was it specifically about the meetings that was the worst part of it? It wasn't just necessarily getting together with people, or it was some other sort of thing. You know, a certain kind of person is not going to feel comfortable, I'm sure, in a group, you know, setting, but some people would, and I don't know. And, hey, good. Thank you. Yeah, we give it some more thinking, All right. Well, those are my thoughts of the day. Appreciate the feedback. Appreciate the thinking. I hope you have a beautiful day. If you have any other thoughts, throw them in the comments. Have a beautiful day. I will look forward to sharing some more thinking with you tomorrow. Be well, everybody.